America, fuck yeah,
Fuck yeah.
flies now on a green screen, and I'm doing this because we ain't got a theme, yeah. Well, welcome again, episode 2, Top Toast. Now, there might be some discrepancies as we recorded the last one. We were getting ready for a whole new rollout, my manners. It was going to be a lovely, good start to a new year, new show, good times. We're going to do the audio platforms. We're going to be on Spotify. It's going to be great.
Yep.
We recorded the episode. And then as I was setting up for the Spotify, I realized there is, in fact, another show on Spotify that had the same goddamn fucking name, which there isn't on the other platforms. So then had to rush around coming up with a new name, a new logo, put the new logo into the old episode, even though in the old episode, the last week's, we say the old name, several times. So that's fine. So lovely, confusing start is what we needed to get going into 2025. We are now the Top Toast podcast, and this is episode 2. Or 1.5, depending on how you want to look at it. Don't think about it too much. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, no theme song yet. Hopefully we'll have that one for the next episode. Anyway, enough about that. How are you?
All good. Been an exciting week.
Yeah?
Basically it. Well, I've been ill as fuck, but much better now.
You do look pretty
Like, it was a crusty mess, mate. Just every orifice. Like, if I sneeze one more time, I want to blow my fucking brains out.
I
I've
bet you
pulled all of my.
fucking stalactites
Don't.
or stalagmites. Stalactites or stalagmites that come down. One goes up, the other goes down. Anyway.
Fuck knows.
No idea.
Like, the amount of time I've washed my beard this fucking week is unreal. Yeah, it's not nice. Had to cancel going to a gig for it. Bollocks.
When was
Just
that?
fucking timing.
Was that going to be today? Yeah. That's rough.
But then we got. I'm just so glad it's better for fucking Pantera. I'm so looking forward to that gig. 25th.
That's my birthday, McManus.
Oh.
And I'm not
in London watching Pantera.
No.
Oh, mate, you should have £90 for a standing ticket, Dean.
Nah, I'm all
£90.
Right. I'm all right. I know like 2 songs, maybe. What's the one that everyone plays on guitar?
Walk.
That one.
Oh, Cemetery Gates.
There we go. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! I don't know. Something like that. Right.
Along the lines, yeah.
Yeah, I fucking got it, man. Move over, Phil. You know what? Let's just get rid of the last original member, just replace him with me. I just go, oh.
Actually, there's 2. There's Rex and Phil. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Happy days. Good for Rex. He's having a good time, probably working with
the bassist. Yeah, Rex, the bassist. It's the same birthday as George.
Well, there you go. Isn't that interesting? I'm sure he's having a wonderful time touring with Phil Anselmo, who is clearly a very regular man. Nothing weird or out of character or anything going on with him whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not fucking going there, mate.
I'll not touch it. I hope you have a good time. I hope he has a good time on my birthday.
London.
Perfectly well-balanced man, Phil Anselmo. Anyway, enough about that. We're going to talk about some movies. But man, I've only got a couple of news things, really. One's not even really a news thing. But did you see they're making a new Masters of the Universe He-Man movie? You heard about this?
I've heard a rumor, but I didn't realize it's actually happening.
So there's been a lot of casting going on. There's I think Alison Brie is playing Evelyn. Who else? They've cast the main guy is called Nicholas Galitzine. I think I've never heard of him, but he's playing Adam slash He-Man. And who else was it they cast? Let me bring this up. I thought I had this up, but I do not have this up. Bear with me. Let's get this up. I thought you would have heard more about this. You, where have you gone, McManus?
Am I not on there? I'm on IMDb. Sorry, I'm.
No, sure. I get it. Don't worry about it.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah. I got you. Oh, that's right. So Marina Baccarin from Deadpool, she's playing the sorceress. Idris Elba is the man at arms.
Oh,
we've got what's his name? The Mountain from Game of Thrones. He's playing Goat Man. That's fun. Everyone loves a goat.
Hathor Julius Bordinson.
That's the one. I didn't even want to try and say that. Look at all
James Purefoy as King Randall. What?
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, there's Jared Leto.
Jared Leto as Skeletor. What the fuck?
Now, I don't love him. I don't even like him. But I could see that working.
Yeah, because the guy's got range, but it's still Jared Leto, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to have anyone putting more money and more ego into his pockets and his head or whatnot. But I can see that working. But over the last week, McManus, we have had some set photos. Now, there are good things and bad things about these set photos. All right, so I'm going to bring these up. You can have a little ganders at this. Right, have a look at this. We've got the classic pink shirt with the white undershirt, McManus. We've got him getting arrested by police officers. We're going to come back to that in a second. We've got the sword. Does the sword have a name? Is it just the power sword or something? Do you know the name of the sword?
Oh, I fucking should. And I'm going to get buried for this.
No, I'm not the biggest He-Man man. But there you go. He's being arrested for something. Now, do you see what the issue here is, McManus? Do you see the issue? He's on Earth again.
Oh.
Biggest mistake from the 80s version is that they didn't do it in Eternia. They just had Dolph Lundgren in his pants running around in regular modern day Earth. And that's why, that's not the only reason, but people don't like it when you do that. If you've got a property that's set in a fantasy land, a lovely, wonderful, magical land.
Keep it in that,
Keep it in that, but it's like, well, we don't want to pay and build and design a magical, wonderful land.
But do you know it might just be on Earth for some stupid reason. We don't know. But again, it's going, back on Earth.
Yeah, it looks very Thor as well. If you remember the first Thor movie, was a lot of him,
he gets banished somehow.
Getting arrested or something. Yeah. And maybe we'll find our way to Eternia for the third act. Like, what is Skeletor going to be running around like Miami or wherever it is? You know what I mean? Like
blowing the shit out of everything.
They've cast all the other characters, so presumably there's going to be some Eternia, and hopefully it's not just like the first 5 minutes and last 5 minutes. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this IP, but I know a lot of people are very passionate about this. Yeah. Just ask Kevin Smith and all the shit he got a couple of years ago with his animated series when that came out, because He-Man wasn't the whole focus of the show. They put Gasp, a woman, as a main character, and then they killed He-Man. So
it's so bad. Different people have different stories. Oh yeah, and you can't kill He-Man.
They brought him back. It was a 2-part series. Of course they're going to bring him back. If you think they're going to kill He-Man in part 1 of a 2-part thing and not have an epic return in the second part, then not only do you not know, you just don't know anything. You don't know how fucking stories work. You don't know life. You don't know fucking
Sip from Sam.
You know, diversity. You don't know morals. You don't know nothing. Fucking, of course they're gonna bring him back. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's just the way it made people feel. So like,
and they got feelings.
Yeah, and everyone's got a feeling, and everyone's got a fucking point to make. So
it's called He-Man. No time for fucking feelings. Suck your female lead and get on with it. Anyway, that's fine. We're getting another He-Man. I don't know if this is good. I mean, again, this has got a really popular, really strong fan base. I don't know how well it's going to do, really. They've got a couple of reasonable sized names in it. Obviously, the main guy, don't really know him from anything, so he's probably not costing them that much. They they haven't built Eternia yet, so that's saving them a few quid. And I don't know if I'm going to be rushing out to see it. I mean, I'm excited to see a trailer though, and sort of see what the tone is. Is it going to be like Thor? Is it going to be like very comedic? Is it going to be more serious? I think it's the guy who directed the Bumblebee Transformers movie.
Okay. I like that movie.
Travis Knight. It's okay, but it is a very sort of, it's a kid friendly, light-hearted comedy action adventure.
I just like the part like that they went back to the actual concept of what a transformer looks like, and didn't Michael Bay the living fuck out of it. Right, so every part of a car that just like comes apart goes into little triangles. That's a transformer. Right, that bothered me.
The designs were probably the best thing about that movie. And also, I would say that the best part of that movie was the stuff that they had at the beginning, on where it's actually on Cybertron, and it's just like
that was a really cool scene. Yeah.
So that gives me hope that we're going to get something like that, but in the Masters of the Universe.
It goes back to like people who want to like. I want a movie that takes place on Cybertron. Let's see the Cybertron Wars. Well, now it didn't happen, but you know how the origin story, because you know what Optimus Prime and shit like that. And then, if you really want to know what happened on Cybertron, play the games. The actual one, not the Transformer movie games, the actual Transformer games. That makes sense.
Yeah, I played a couple of those. And then the problem is that all the other films damaged the IP so much, Transformers I'm talking about, is that when they did what apparently is a very good movie, Transformers 1, it completely fucking bombed, because one, a lot of the other ones have been very mediocre at best, and two, they marketed it like super kiddie, like super kid friendly, which again, obviously Transformers, it is kind of for kids. Don't come at me, adults, man babies. But
me speaking, I've got both of the tattoos on me.
Yeah, but I saw that trailer for Transformers 1. I was like, they're just making lame jokes. It just looked very fluffy. And apparently, again, I haven't seen it, but apparently that movie was really fucking good. The story was deep. It had some really cool characterization to it. And everyone really liked it who saw it. But the only problem is there was about 4 of them. So that's not the best.
Bastard. I was one of them. I must have gone to cinema and watched
2 of them.
I must have gone to cinema and watched all of them. I was on the Michael Bay wagon. Michael Bay bandwagon.
I don't mind some of them. I actually think the third one was the best one. the second one is, well, I would say the second one's the worst one, but number 4 is pretty bad with Mark Wahlberg and how the the adult man dating his teenage daughter like pulls out a fucking ID card and like knowledge of like the state laws and ages of consent and everything. It's like, dude, why do you just have this information on hand? Like, you know you're bad and you're fucking ready for it. Like, that is so gross. And TJ Miller getting thrown about, fuck that guy too. And then you had, by the time you got to the end of those movies, you had Stanley Tucci playing fucking Merlin and King Arthur and fucking what is going on. Mark Wahlberg's the new holder of the fucking sword of the from the stone. Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing? Mark Wahlberg,
the story's a bit
really?
far out there, isn't it?
Uh,
But yeah,
it's a
and
bit
you have Anthony
much.
Hopkins in it though. He was fantastically mad.
That's crazy. The fact that they had Anthony Hopkins in a medieval Transformers movie is
One sec.
crazy. That is so crazy. I'll tell a lie though. Not that wasn't the last one. The last one was the Beast Wars one, right? They did that was a couple of years ago, and that was okay. It was kind of just like more of the same, but it was more like Transformers 1 or Transformers 3 than it was like 2, 4, and 5 or whatever. But I don't think that did overly well. And then they had that really bad shoehorned end scene setting up a G.I. Joe crossover in our universe, where we don't have a G.I. Joe franchise currently to cross over with. So that's pretty bizarre. You've gone again, McManus. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, with that,
Just switch
yeah,
back and
it was
don't go anywhere.
I totally thought it would be something other than fucking GI Joe. I was not expecting that whatsoever. And he's like, where does and how like he opens the door, but it's like that's a hanger. Like that whole wall must be like 20 foot off the ground.
I'll tell you what, McManus, not just any hangar.
Mm,
It's a completely fucking empty hangar. Like they literally just put them in a room and just like, okay, we'll just put something on the business card, in post or whatever when we figure out what we can and can't cross over with, and we'll just have 2 dudes in an empty room and a blank business card, and then we'll just put the GI Joe thing on it later with a little bit of that music. But again, the whole point of a crossover is like, oh, I can't wait to see these characters from this movie meet those characters from those movies. Like, oh, great! I can't wait to see the Transformers from the Transformers movies meet up with the I guess these new GI Joe characters, because all the other movies flopped like 10 years ago, and we don't really have anything to
mm.
to get excited about. So that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, going off on a tangent. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Master of the Universe, that comes out next year.
Yeah,
We should probably have a trailer by the end of this year, I would
yeah. And
imagine.
also
Maybe
speaking of
early next year.
trailers, the ones that just came out. Um, on Super Bowl Sunday, we got the actual trailer for the live How to Train Your Dragon. Yes,
How to Train Your Dragon,
I
yes. Are you
man,
into
I'm a
these movies? Because I've
DreamWorks
not really seen them.
bitch. When a good DreamWorks movie comes out, I go fucking kid starry eyed. I'm fucking watching this. It's gonna kill it's gonna destroy souls. And like DreamWorks do in good fashion, know how to make an adult fucking
Yeah.
cry and make kids happy. So yeah,
Okay. So I've seen like the opening scene of the first Dragon movie, and it was kind of fun and it was cool. And then I just never saw the rest. But for what I understand, there's like a whole big epic storyline with his mum and
yeah,
Kate Blanchett in the second
it
one,
really does.
and all this
Yeah,
that apparently
it
really
really
got
does.
people going.
Like
Yeah,
it gets your strings going, mate. And like the amount, how they kept like the director literally, he went on twice to say it's not going to be I'm not going to let you down. I am sticking to what I watched when I was younger and like when it came out. And it like it literally said went to him that I'm going to try and copy mostly everything from the animated movies. And it's what yeah.
Yeah, because it's the same director, so that's interesting. My issue is that now we have another studio because for the last 10 years or so, it's been Disney pumping out reimaginings and remakes of
Oh
the
yeah.
classic animated library, right? And now it's like DreamWorks in that, and they're like, okay, we're going to step into this. So I'm wondering what's next, right? Are we going to do like Madagascar, but in the style of like the new Lion King movie where it's all super fucking
Oh, I don't
serious
know
and
how you can
realistic looking
fucking do
animals like
that
murking each
because
other?
like
You know what I mean?
getting real
Are we going to get
getting
do we get
live
live action?
animals to do polka dot fucking circus. That's some acid trip I don't want to fucking see. Like that would be worse than pink elephants
This is
on
what I'm
parade,
saying.
and that was
This is what
animated.
I'm saying.
Like,
Like, are we gonna get Jack Black doing the voice for like a live action Kung Fu Panda? Like, are we gonna get is
yes,
Ice
yeah.
Age DreamWorks as well?
No, no, that's DreamWorks
That's someone else, isn't it? Oh, it is, okay. Um,
or Disney.
so it's like, how much of this are we gonna have, man? And you know, in 10 years from now, they're gonna be remaking Pixar movies. That's gonna be the next fucking thing. We're getting all the Disney movies. They're doing I think Rapunzel, which is sort of a newer Disney movie that's like of the 3D animation era. I guarantee 10 years from now, you're going to be getting Toy Story live action. You're going to be getting, I don't know,
I just
what,
up
Cars
live
or Up
action.
live
Leave it a
action.
fucking alone. Like,
Oh, give me, give me Bugs Life with real bugs. All right, give me praying
it's
mantises
strange.
ripping each other's heads off
It's
after
strange you
they
did say
fuck.
that because
Like,
Disney released like on the anniversary. They just like a Bug's Life. Like yeah, they did a nature
oh,
theme
what
for
the
the
nature
anniversary
thing?
of a Bug's Life. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought that looked like that was a nice little idea. I've never been massive on Bugs Life. I was always in the
I
Ants
love
camp. I always
both
thought
of
that was the
them.
better
Like
movie,
I thought they were
even though it's
yeah.
got
Everyone's like, oh, I
in
like
it.
ants. I like a Bug's Life. I like ants. Like the second one, ants. Yeah, ants is a
They're
bit more
both they're both
traumatizing though
right.
for kids. Like ants going to war, and then you just see the fucking termites coming over the fucking walls. Ah!
Uh, It's not only that, but it's like the crushing existentialism of like, you know, learning your
Yeah,
place in
yeah, yeah.
society,
For an adult,
being
yeah,
part of
you get that. But as a kid, you ain't gonna go
unit,
watch fucking
you know.
ants for the view of what it actually is on about because that shit's going over your head at 7 years old. You're just like, oh, ants.
Oh, man,
Hmm.
the class politics of it all, you know, and then yeah, the war. There's a lot in that movie. Unfortunately, it does also have
Fucking
Woody
forgot
Allen
about
in it,
that guy.
but that's fine. We can manage.
See,
Yeah.
ever
But it does have
ever
Sylvester
since like
Stallone. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
is a
yeah.
big
Ooh, how you
Woody Allen.
doing? with his small like his the small top of his head and his chin's down to here. Just a block chin.
Mate, give me
Oh
live action
yeah.
ants any day of the week. But other it would be terrifying to watch. It would be gross and weird and grimy and dingy. You know what I mean? Like in all them little fucking caves and fucking underground labyrinths and shit. Nasty. But anyway, so yeah. you're talking about trailers that are coming out from the Super Bowl. That brings us on to the next topic, which is I wanted to have a little chat about the Thunderbolts trailer, McManus. You probably saw this. I
Yeah,
know you
well,
saw this. I don't know why
I
I
was
said
up watching the
probably.
Super Bowl, so.
What did you think of the trailer?
Mm.
Oh, well, there you go. Go
No, Seagulls.
Chiefs. Is it Chiefs?
I call. No, it's
Is it not the Chiefs? I thought.
yeah, sea, yeah, but Sea Hawks. Sea, so, yeah, yeah, yeah. Went to Chiefs this year.
I don't know. I don't know. So you
But
watching the Super Bowl not just for the trailers,
I like
whereas I just
football.
wait until they drop online because I know when the
Yeah,
Super Bowl is
you
going to
know,
be.
but over here it's
Uh,
different from the trailers over here. So you have to actually, well, what I've had over here. So I switch over to the US feed because their fucking intervals and the amount of commercials they have are fucking ridiculous. And I like the scramble of the war of commercials for Super Bowl because if it's not medicine, it's booze, and then it's fucking food that'll clog your arteries within 2 minutes of eating the fucking food.
yeah, and those commercials, man, they're not cheap. They cost you like
Yeah,
if you want to get a 30-second Super Bowl
yeah,
commercial,
you're
that's
looking at
$8
millions instantly.
million.
Like,
Yeah, it used to be like you would get like three or four
right?
like full trailers. But now it's just
Yeah.
like they put a 30-second teaser and then they put the thing on the screen, right, of
If
like
if
trailers online
yeah,
now, so you can go and watch a trailer online
if
because they know they can just put the trailer online and they don't want to
if
spend
you're
like
fucking lucky
16,
these days,
20 million dollars to put a full
you'll
trailer
you'll
in.
get two teasers and a what I'd say a main trailer that lasts a minute. Like if two teasers is fucking pushing it, but
Yeah.
it's gone down. And like I'm like you're saying, like years ago, it used to be like, oh, before the halftime thing, here's fucking five trailers to get your teeth into, and that's what everyone was looking forward to.
Yeah, I just think the scales are tipping now where it's like because everyone can put them online. You can do your own online marketing campaign. It's just like, and the price of the Super Bowl spots have gone up so high. It's like the scales have gone over. It's like it's not
Mm.
really worth it that much anymore to be spending all that money. And I think we are kind of in the end of that era of the Super Bowl trailers. It's just again, it got too big a business, it's just going to collapse in on itself, I think. And like 8 million, some movies only have a marketing budget of like 20 million or something. You know what I mean? So then that's like half your whole fucking thing is just gone on like 130
Like the
seconds
amount of
fly off the wall.
I dread to see how
Like
much the
it's
receipt for Deadpool and Wolverine, like the fucking marketing they did for that.
I didn't even. I was really excited for the marketing campaign for Deadpool and Wolverine because, like, the first Deadpool movie had really cool marketing, and then they did that announcement video of like Ryan Reynolds on the couch and Hugh Jackman's
I've
like
still
walking
got
up
my
the stairs, and
reaction
he's
to
like,
that.
"Yeah, cool, whatever." And I was like, "Oh, they could I was like, they could do so much cool stuff like Reynolds and Jackman just like kind of being all sort of like bantery and casual, like online back and forth on like other TV programs and doing like crossovers with other like brands and commercials and
Mm.
stuff. They didn't really do any of that. They did that one thing and then it was just like trailers and posters sort of
Yeah,
as usual. And I was a little bit
I
disappointed
get with it, but they
overall
did spend
how they it
most of
just
it on
isn't.
different stuff instead of just little clips. And like, I do like that. Yeah, that was
Oh, the
fucking
popcorn.
hilarious. I didn't man. I wanted one so fucking bad, along with the fucking necklace. Did I get either of them? Did I? Fuck. I ended up. Yeah, I ended up getting them. Yeah, I ended up paying
People
15 quid for
for
a
them.
metal bin that I have in my room now. It was
Nice.
worth it.
Anyway, though, the Thunderbolt
Yeah,
trailer.
one
You watched
second.
the
Can I
Thunderbolt
just
trailer.
pause? I've got to send this fucking message.
So I'll give my thoughts on this. I'm really excited for the Thunderbolts movie. I think it's cool. I like all the characters from the other stuff. I thought Ghost was a underrated villain from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think John Walker is arguably the most interesting character running around in the MCU right now.
Yeah,
I loved him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You know, just complex. The performance is great. I didn't mind what they did with Taskmaster and Black Widow. Didn't love that movie, but I thought Taskmaster was cool, and I'd be interested to see where that character's going to go. Maybe not that far based on what we're seeing in this trailer, but we'll get to it.
yeah.
I
No,
don't love Red
fucking.
Guardian. It's like, yeah, okay, he's just a big brash
I liked him until
type.
if you don't see him until after fucking the Black Widow movie. But how that starts off that movie is fucking depressing. But I like how he is. Like you can see he's like, is he talking shit in prison? Is he not? And then he just breaks that guy's fucking arm and like, oh. He could break out anytime he wanted, but he just wants to be wanted.
I just think, yeah, he's good in the role. And I like David Harbour. I actually think he's a better Hellboy than Ron Perlman. Come at me. But I just think the Red Guardian character, the humour of it is a little bit one note. It's just the same kind of joke over and over again. But maybe they're going to do something fun with him in this. Obviously, everyone likes Bucky. Who doesn't like Sebastian Stan? And I think the movie's going to be good. I love the Sentry character. I've always wanted to see how they could adapt him if they ever did, and it looks like they're going to be doing a fairly faithful job visually and sort of with the depiction of him, like when he's just Bob or whatever. My issue is that I think the movie's going to be good. I like most of the characters in it. I just don't think they put anything particularly good or memorable in the trailer. There was no like
it's still
moment,
leaving you guessing.
You know what I mean? Like the action looks good, the interaction between the characters is good. It's still leaving you guessing, but they put like a couple of quick shots of like you get a bit of a silhouette of the Sentry, and it's like they did that just to get people rewatching, just to get people speculating. It's like just give me one shot properly, just one shot. Like at the end, could have just had an epic shot of him like flying up in front of the camera, big golden locks and costume, like the glow, the million exploding suns or whatever. Like there was just no big hook moment for me, and I was just like, I'm confident the movie's going to be good, but and again, I don't want to get into this now, but with the Captain America stuff, like and how that's being received, I don't think that's going to help Thunderbolts at all. I think people are going to start getting a little bit sort of shy when it comes to rushing out to see these movies, and I want it to be good. It's only like 3 months away. I think it's like end of April or beginning of May, I think. So it's not far away at all until we get it. And also, everything's grey, McManus. Why is it all grey?
Yeah, I think it was just to make
There's no colours in the movie.
Wait. Serious?
But I hate this. You can have, right, I've said this to you in the group chat the other day. You can have something be dark and violent. It doesn't have to be visually dark. It's like, we're not stupid. We get it. The darkness can be implicit in the dialogue, in the tone. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, if it's a dark themed movie, then it has to be a dark looking movie, and if it's a fun, happy movie, it has to be a bright coloured movie. No, have you ever heard of juxtaposition? Juxtaposition! It makes it interesting. It makes it fun. Look at Invincible, where it's that bright Saturday morning Technicolor cartoon, but then they fucking murk the shit out of each other, and it's fun because it's a contrast, light and shade. Makes me have conflicting emotions. What I'm seeing isn't matching up with what I'm feeling. Now I feel morally questionable, like the characters. That's good. It's all grey.
It's all grey.
Fucking grey.
Black.
Jesus Christ. Why? Even the Red Guardian looks grey. He's that Red Guardian.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm excited for the movie McManus. I think it's going to be good. I can't wait to go and see it. I'm almost as excited for that, maybe just as excited for that as I am Fantastic Four, which is a big deal. And I never thought I'd be in a world where Thunderbolts was just as interesting to me.
So optimistic, but in a good way, because like again, it's the bad guys. Well, the ones who've been the bad guys in the movies. Yeah, the grey guys, basically.
The grey guys.
And I bet some of them are going to get fucking murdered because I think some of the directors are like, yeah, we can kill these off now. We don't need them. So I'm betting on that.
Right. Well, there's a lot of people pointed out that Taskmaster is only in the scenes from what looked like the beginning of the movie and the latest stuff. They're nowhere to be seen. So a lot of people are assuming that Taskmaster is going to get hurt, which is probably the most expendable character on the team. You're not killing Bucky. You're not killing Florence Pugh. You're not killing Sentry maybe until the end, and we don't know him, so we're not attached to him anyway. I don't think you kill John Walker. I think that's a massive mistake if they do. And I think
the way he goes out that window doesn't look too fucking good for him, does it?
For some emotional,
he's kind of an indestructible big fat mess. So
no. Well, that's what I mean. It might look like he's on the way out that window, but then 5 seconds after he does that, he's going to pop up with that big goofy fucking grin and be like, "For the nation!"
It would just be one, one of those shots. He goes flying out of a window, and you just see him go down, like long shot. You just watch him fall, and then he just goes through the top of a building. And you just hear the echo, poof, of where he just hits the roof. It's like, yeah, he's fine. He'll be all right in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but maybe because he is sort of like this big, like sort of jokey character, maybe that could even be more impactful if they did like decide to wipe him out. And again, I think that would be
but does she really need to fucking lose any more family members? Like, come on. I know they're not part of her family, but like, well, they are, but they're not. Because she's technically kidnapped.
Right, blood isn't everything, McManus. All right.
No, that's true.
Sometimes it's all right to just find a family or pick a family.
Well, not if your parents use you as a fucking
genetics
weapon. That's a bit fucked up, isn't it? Fuck off! The worst shit on the planet has happened because of men following orders. I don't know what that's from. Is that from that? Oh, Henry. All right, sorry.
And women. Right.
Hammer of justice.
But anyway, who likes to follow orders, right? This guy.
Does he fuck?
Likes to follow orders. Well, sometimes in classic Captain America fashion, he's for the country, but he'll fight against the country, and then the fans will fight against Anthony Mackie for saying that Captain America wants to fight against the country, even though Steve Rogers fought against the country.
Every turn when they disagree
with the American government, they disagreed
mm-hmm.
because what's right isn't always what they tell you is right. But for some reason, they wanted to come at Anthony Mackie. I wonder why. What difference is there that Anthony Mackie might have to Chris Evans? Because I think they look exactly the same. So I can't quite figure out what it is. They practically brothers as far as I'm concerned. You know, beautiful pale skin, luscious blonde hair. They're identical. I don't see what the problem is. What's so different about Anthony Mackie? I don't get it. Anyway, Captain America, Brave New World, McManus, we both went to see this. Now,
Yeah,
I don't want to
right.
play my hand too abruptly. Here we go. Right. I was looking forward to this movie. I like Anthony Mackie. I think he's really good. I like him as
Yes,
Falcon. I like him in
yes, it
other
is.
movies.
Yeah.
Pain and Gain is one of my favourite movies. I love that movie so
I forgot
much.
about that.
And he's good. I think, in universe, he has earned the right to be Captain America. He's compelling enough I think he's compelling enough to carry a movie as Captain America. He's very charming, very likable, but also can be very sincere, you know, and very, commanding when he wants to be. But he's, got a bit more of a laid back vibe to a Steve Rogers, which I think is fine. You can have that. He's a bit fancier with some of his moves, with the shield and the spinning and the wings and
Right.
stuff. I thought the action was really good for the most part in this movie. Like, it was entertaining. It wasn't completely like Winter Soldier Civil War level, but it was, not everything has to be, not everything can be, and that's fine. It's still good. I thought, what else is there? I love the design. I prefer the suit from the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like the white suit more.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's
Anthony
probably
Mackie.
reasons that
Anthony
they
Mackie
wanted to
turned around
change
and
it.
went,
More
"I'm not wearing
toys.
that fucking cowl
Give it
ever
a
again."
helmet. Yeah, if you say that, I'm like, don't say that. Like, just if you just say we wanted to redesign the costume, don't come out and poo poo on the other costume. It's a really well
Yeah, right.
designed
Yeah.
suit. From the comics, it's straight off the page, and I thought it worked a lot better than actually I thought it was going to. Just say we wanted to upgrade the suit. He's flying around like in the atmosphere. He's fighting Hulks. Let's give him the guy a fucking helmet. Just please. I've got no serum. Give me a
Concussion
helmet,
City.
and we'll be fine. But Concussion City, crashing into it head first. I like that we was addressing
Right.
finally the Celestial coming out of the ocean,
Oh,
even though we don't really address it as much as I would have liked. I think it's great finally getting Red Hulk.
yeah.
I thought the Red Hulk stuff was pretty good. McManus, going into this, what were you
Well, going
thinking,
back to
and
what you
what are
said
your
about
overall
fucking
sort of
Thunderbolts,
vibes?
notice the grey area again. How they started off the movie. How the huh?
It's a bit more colourful than Thunderbolts.
No. I
Yeah,
mean,
I thought
just
there was a bit
the
more colour in
opening,
this
the
than
opening
what
to
we've
the
seen
like
from
they changed the
Thunderbolts, but
opening
yeah,
from
it's still
the
very
like to this one. It's just black and grey. It literally was. So like
right.
you're like, oh, stepping into this, am I like it?
Because they want to tell you that tone. They want to tell you, they want to hit you over the head with it. It's a dark movie. It's all
Yeah. So I
morally
just
grey.
sat there
It's
like, what the
political
fuck?
espionage,
Like
thriller like Winter
this
Soldier.
isn't how
Remember
you
that
start
movie,
Marvel
everyone?
movies. And it's like they haven't done this. And it's like, oh, are they trying to make me fit like we're going to go in and it's going to be a serious movie? Is it? Oh, it's a Captain America one. What do you think?
Yeah, announce it. But what did you
I
think of the
I
quote
think
unquote serious movie
I've I
before we get
thoroughly
into
and
the
fucking
details?
enjoyed it.
Got details.
You'll see that. Well, we'll speak about the parts why I enjoyed it because of well what happens and movies back down the line. I was it caught me fucking unawares, but I loved it. Also, yeah, I did my fucking research and like the people who were in it, and I was quite fucking entertained. I really was, because like it's been a while. Well, since the last Captain America movie, since he like actually gone in and just felt that feeling of, oh, this is cool. This is actually fucking cool. Because the last couple of Marvel movies, I was like, eh, okay, yeah. But this movie, I fanboyed out. Safe to say.
Right. So again, I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really like the Red Hulk storyline from the comics. I like the fact that they wanted to bring back Tim Blake Nelson as the leader. Finally, I was glad that we got to have that. I'm glad that we addressed to an extent the Celestial, and it's like, oh, okay, we're introducing adamantium now, so we've kind of
Mate,
got this like this arms race,
what?
conflict treaty thing
How did they
going on.
fucking get that
I thought that was all
anyway?
pretty
Like, how?
interesting.
Why? How and why have they only now decided to introduce adamantium?
Well, because they've only had the rights to it for a couple of years now, and I think they're probably just waiting for the right time. And I think this was a really fun way to have it. I think some versions, it's like manufactured. I think some versions it's a meteorite from space. And I think this was a cool way to have it. So it's not been around all the time. Now it's like this up and coming, new alloy on the block or whatever, new metal on the block. And
Wherever
I
you are, Logan.
yeah, I think now's the right
So it's
time
like
because
wherever you are, yeah,
I mean,
wherever
even
you
though
are, Logan, they're coming for your ass.
watch out, they, yeah, yeah, they fucking government's got a big old jar of adamantium. They'll be like, "Oh, you come and get some of this on your bones." But so that's interesting as well because that means that Logan. So we can already like
Yeah?
confirm that
Is it confirmed that
he's
Henry Cavill
wherever he
is
is, assuming
playing
he's in the
Wolverine?
universe at some point. No, that's not confirmed, and I don't think they will. I think Henry Cavill is a
Yeah,
little bit too similar to like a Hugh Jackman, where he's like a tall, handsome dude. I think they're probably going to go
because I've seen a
younger,
couple of posts
smaller,
about um
gruffer, hopefully.
fucking
But anyway, right?
him being cast as Wolverine in an actual movie. Don't know if it's going to be another like a standalone movie or if it's just people.
No, no. He said in an interview recently that he has spoken to Marvel about doing something else, and I think some people took that as like
Hmm.
he was going to be coming back as Wolverine, but I don't think that's what it is. Um, Anyway, so we address the celestial, but we only address it in terms of like, oh, it's coming out of the ocean and there's a resource. Nobody mentions one time like what does this mean for like society? What does this mean for humanity? Not
Yeah.
only did one try to come out of the planet, another one hovered over the planet. Like, where's where's the ramifications of that? What does that mean? Like, is that God? Because they've got no context. They don't know what the Eternals know. All we saw was the fucking
No.
God like
Wait,
appear over
you're
the earth,
all
but we
mini
don't even
batteries,
address
so
any of that.
fuck
Like
off.
the president, especially like a new president. What I mean, a president coming in, wouldn't he be coming out and be like, look, I understand you're all right about the big red man in the sky. I'm going to be your president and I'm going to be a slightly smaller red man, but we'll get to that. And I'm going to make sure that I do everything I can to protect you if you elect me from the big red man in the
But
sky.
we'll find out
Okay? We don't know what
together.
it means. Don't worry, religion, God, country, all of that good stuff. We will find out and we will come together as a nation to understand and deal with
Did he
these
didn't
crazy new
didn't fucking President Ross or
revelations and things that are
President
happening, right?
elect Ross?
You know,
Did he just fucking take a line from Steve Rogers? Yeah, it's
What
like,
about like
well,
how we'll
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 lose.
come
We'll
together,
do
we'll
that
do it
together
together or
too.
whatever?
Like,
That bit.
his president's whole slogan is
Yeah, I mean
together.
it's fairly
Like,
standard.
hmm.
I liked how he referenced like the snap, and he's like, we lost half of us, now we're back together, all this kind of stuff. It's like I would have liked more of that kind of stuff.
Mm.
But I tell you what, I would have liked less of McManus. I would have liked a lot less of the bad editing. Like you could see where like the reshoots happen. You could literally see like, okay, we're going from this
Yeah,
version of the movie, cut. This is from the other version of the movie, cut. This is a very insert of Anthony Mackie on a green screen doing some like final showdown
there was a
dialogue at
couple
the
of
end, not to
times I
get
just
too
went,
far ahead of
hmm,
myself, but they do it throughout the
okay.
movie. There is some
There's a good couple of times like,
green screen.
I'm not picking that apart.
You could tell where they certain actors in. They brought certain actors in and
Yep.
did like
Well,
just
because
had them on up against the green screen, filmed some extra dialogue, and just shoved it straight into the scene. You could just fucking. It was just so
there
distracting and
was
so
two
fucking
wrestlers
off-putting.
that were supposed to
It
be
really
in
took away.
this movie. It was Becky Lynch and her husband Seth Rollins, and they were going to be part of the Serpent
Yeah,
Society. And they
yeah, Serpent Society. Yeah, they're completely out of there. All of the Giancarlo
yeah,
Esposito stuff was the reshoots as well. That's not the only thing, but that was a big part of it. Was his character. So a lot of the stuff
yeah. Well,
with
it's just what
him in it, it's literally
it's
just
still
him and Anthony
side.
Mackie on a green screen
Yeah,
because they didn't
well,
want
it's
to
still Sidewinder,
pay everyone
which
else to
is
cut
set
back
from
out
set.
the
Well,
scenes.
and the only thing that comes close to
Yeah,
him in
visions.
any of the shit that he is in the comics is his eyes. Like when he doesn't do the face up of his eye, you can see he's got like contact lenses in for the character, but he's just like, uh, yeah,
Yeah.
that too, yeah,
Oh, well, he's got the yellow collar
and the
on the
coat,
coat.
yeah.
He's
But
got
you ain't walking in
under
between
it to
realities,
the
are you, motherfucker?
yeah, but
But it was a badass though. It does make you feel like
no, he's not doing
I really
anything.
don't want to fuck with this guy.
Well, look, it was nice to see Giancarlo play more of like because he's always these like cerebral, intense kind of villain characters. It was nice to see him do like a more physical kind of villain character. However, in trade off for that, they lost all of the other stuff. Like I just thought the dialogue was generic. Like the performance was like a little bit half baked, I thought. And I don't think it's his fault. I think he was just given like, just like rushed in on a whim. Quick, here's some pages. Just read this kind of situation. It just felt, yeah. I was disappointed to see him. I was just like, oh man, it's cool to see him do the action. But now I wish he was kind of just like had some meaty stuff to say. To go along with it. If you would have had both of those things in there, people would have been coming out of this movie like, say what you want about the movie, but damn, that character was fucking cool. Like after Winter Soldier, who would have thought that Batroc the Leaper would have been a cool character? And everyone was talking about that fight scene with him and Cap on the boat, right? And it's like, and he didn't exactly have like, he wasn't exactly reciting Shakespeare, but they did just enough with the characterization and performance and had him say, little enough that, it it didn't. So he's not having to do big monologues. It's just a cool fight, just enough of like fun interaction between him and Cap, just to make it kind of stick out in your brain. Whereas this is just like I don't really remember any of the dialogue, because obviously Batroc, it was like, the great Captain America, what would you
Take
without
my
a shield? And it's like, okay,
take my
put
helmet
the
off.
shield on my back, do a little flip. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we remember that, but I don't remember any of
Yeah,
the stuff from
yeah. The guy who
their
pays for truck
interactions. And I
was
watched
a
this movie like
fucking
2 days
UFC
ago,
fighter, Jean
and
Pierre. He's actually a French Canadian.
Right, yeah. And then I want to talk about the music. Music was pretty on the nose, you know, like that really generic, over the top, like militaristic, patriotic kind of music. You know, it reminded me of
Everything
like
else is
Small
just a
Soldiers.
toy.
You know, when they're all marching in, like
Yeah,
with the Commando
I had
Elite and,
I
the
had
commercials like.
them actually the real the actual ones the ones from the movie, and I never fucking trusted them, not a single bit. I always make sure they're on the top dressers, so they're just like, don't fucking move any of you. Yeah,
I had Brick Bazooka was the one that I had. I never had a whole set of any. But anyway, I digress. I thought the music was kind of like really manipulative, on the nose, over the top. Like it was just like either super like swooning, dramatic, you know, trying to pull on your heartstrings, or if it was just
Mhm.
that generic. Like, you ever play a Command and Conquer game with the cutscenes? You know, it's like that kind of like that
Anything
cutscene
military,
music
you
from an
know
old
what's coming,
like
basically.
90s Command and Conquer game. It's just so
You got the
like
drums, you got the.
just like it was just nothing.
Bear with
There
me,
was
I've just got to go
nothing
check on
to
my
it.
dinner. Carry on.
Nothing to. And then
Yeah,
we'll get into the meat of the situation. The Red Hulk fight was pretty great,
yeah, it's pretty
even though
great.
it was
And
only
like, how
about
much
5 minutes of
how
it.
much that
It was
probably
pretty
fucking
good. And
cost.
again, there was some
Like,
dodgy green.
oh, and it was like, oh, a Hulk, yes.
Yeah, too much apparently.
Carry on.
But here's the thing: the setup for that was just like we see early on, Harrison Ford is like he's like got like some pills, and he's eating a red lollipop at one point. It's like that's a bit on the nose, and it's like, so it was pretty obvious that he's like, it's like, oh, okay, well, there's going to be stuff in that that's going to like slowly turn him, right? And we didn't even need to have that explained to us. Like you could see it coming from a mile away, and then you get to about halfway through the movie, and Samuel Stern reveals that he has in fact been putting
Yeah,
stuff in his heart meds to slowly load him up with something. And it's only once they tell you that. Before that, Harrison Ford he's Thunderbolt Ross. He's just a regular president. You know, he's a little bit cantankerous, but you know, that's just kind of the character anyway. There was nothing in the first half of that movie where he was like getting worked up or getting frustrated or getting angry, until they say, oh, we've been dropping stuff in his meds that's going to rile him up. And then all of a sudden, every other scene, he's getting fucking stressed out and angry. It's like,
yeah,
come on, you build that up, have that slowly escalate throughout the movie, and have that tension there. And then once we find out, they were like, oh, that's why he was being like this, or that's why he's being like that. But they don't. They say, as soon as they do the reveal, I say reveal, it's not reveal, we knew it was happening. Then they start having him get angry. So it just felt really rushed. Like with the second half of the movie, I'll tell you what else felt rushed as well at the beginning with Carl Lumley, as I say, Bradley, where it's like, quick, introduce him and make sure we know the relationship with him and Sam at the gym, and he's training the new Falcon to do a kick or whatever. And it's like he's all grim and serious, but then in the next scene he's like having fun taking selfies at the fucking White House. And it's like, and he's great at both versions of that character, but you can clearly see it's two versions of that character from two different versions of this movie, where one is all fucking grim and intense, and in the other version he's like this kind of like, you know,
yeah,
light-hearted old man who's kind of, you know, he's been through some stuff, but now he's kind of like just having fun. That he's got these new, you know, scallywags as
yeah.
his
Because
mates or whatever, and they're taking care of
he
him,
had
inviting him to fucking
he,
White
he
House
had no trust in
conferences and shit. Just
anyone,
like
and that
plain,
really fucking.
plain.
It's one like his character. He's fucking fantastic, but God, he makes you feel so fucking guilty. Like, even though you like,
But you say he had anyone, but then as soon as they say come to the White House, he's like, yeah, all right. And then
mm,
he gets there and he's
mm,
like, oh, take my picture, send me the picture. It's like, you should be like nervous. paranoid, political thriller stuff. Give me that tension. Don't just have him all of a sudden
Yeah,
flip flop between,
that's one thing
happy old
I
man
thought was
character
weird
and,
because
and
like
miserable old man
with
character.
his backstory and the way he's been treated, like that's the fucking last place you would ever fucking want to be. Like no fucking government gave a fuck about me. They put me in a fucking hole. Why the fuck am I at the fucking White House? Like, I, but, but,
They just they rushed it, and they wanted to just. There's so much of this movie where it's just like exposition, where we needed to explain to people who haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we need to explain who he was. We need to explain who the new Falcon was, and it was literally just the dialogue was just like, "Oh yeah, you're the man who was wrongly treated by the government and back in the day, and now you don't want to help me, and I'm this guy, and he's the new up and plucky coming, you know, tech guy sitting in the chair. Oh, fucking McManus.
oh,
I might have a new least favorite character in the MCU. This fucking, what's his name? Joaquin Torres or whatever his name is, the new Falcon. They plucked this dickhead out of a 90s movie. Like, oh, he's stupid banner. He was like a character from a Michael Bay Transformers movie. You know what I mean? Where he's just making these crappy little wise cracks. He's like, oh, can I come? I'll bring snacks. Like, cowabunga, dude. Like, he might as well just be a fucking turtle, Ninja Turtle. Like, the way that.
yeah.
And he's like, oh, do you know what airdrop is? I'll do that. I'll
He's
take a
just
selfie. Just fucking.
he's this stinks of
This
new
guy
kid.
said, I'm just like,
Like you don't know until you don't know until he
it was
knows, and
just
then he gets shot out of the fucking
there
sky,
was
doesn't
so
he?
much.
That's another. I think that's another
Yeah,
homage to
and
fucking
like, and
Falcon because
it's
that's how Falcon lost his first partner, wasn't it? When he dived in on the prototype fucking wings, and his partner took an
yeah.
RPG to the face, which is never pleasant.
I just, he was just so obnoxious and so irritating and just so not funny. However, I will say this: I
Yeah.
like because a lot of the Marvel movies,
If a
every character
superhero
is
ain't
quipping,
quipping
right?
in some
Everyone,
fucking
they'll
way,
say a
like
serious line, then
yeah,
they'll say a jokey line. Way. Way. But it's like every time anyone in a lot of them other movies recently at least, anytime anyone says something that's
Mm,
got any weight or any sincerity, they have to immediately break the
yeah.
tension like with a joke. Like what Ant-Man would do, right? Where it's like, oh,
Because
isn't this wonderful?
plenty
Oh, I just ruined the
there's been
moment,
plenty
didn't
of
I?
times when
Like
it
that
comes
kind of
along
shit
and
after
Marvel
every
are very good at
significant.
making awkward silences, and then someone will just come along and just fuck that moment up.
Yeah. But I think as the MCU has progressed, we get less of like have the serious moment and then
Yeah.
break the tension. Do that sometimes, but don't do it every single time, right? And I think like they've been doing that all the time. But I think what I liked about this movie is that they were just like, okay, there's one character who's going to be the joke character. We're not going to have everyone quipping every 5 minutes to undercut the tension, right? So I liked that they relegated it to him, but again, I just didn't like any of his stuff. So that was a bit of a shame. But I appreciate that there wasn't loads of comedy in this movie. It's just the one character that was doing it was just fucking god awful. And last god awful character, the leader, Samuel Stearns. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Why did he look like a villain from Captain Planet?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And also, so he's been
Yeah.
locked up by the president for like the last 10, 15 years, right? He's got him in a thing, but he gives him a lab and he helps him, and they've got a little bit of a deal going on. You help me and I'll help you, and you can have like a good prison cell with a lab and all of
Mm.
this stuff, and I'll help you like not die of a heart attack. Fine, right? When they get to his lab, he's got his fucking plan all on the walls of like the newspaper cuttings and the beautiful mind strings of like, oh, I'm gonna frame these people and I'm gonna dose up the president. It's like, how is he not seeing that? You, President Ross, you run this fucking prison, and not one person has come in and said, "What's this stuff on the wall about you poisoning the
It
president
goes
and
back to
fucking the
Ultron
world up?"
again. It's like, yeah, I'm going to spend
Really?
5 minutes to explain my evil plan.
He
Fuck
just
off.
just
He actually does.
just
Yeah, and
you
it's all
you
over a
run the
single
prison. You've
wall.
got cameras in there, and he's got it all. His plan is just fucking there for everyone to see, and not one person is doing a fucking check on this cell to be like, because you're letting him do research. You would check the
Mhm.
research, right? Make sure like he's not doing anything other than what you want him to do. And he's literally got posters on the wall of like, I'm gonna take out the president and make him look like a dickhead in front of United Nations, and everyone's gonna have a war because I made him turn into a Hulk. Like, it's literally written on the wall what you're doing and all the names of the people that you're framing and maneuvering. I'm just like, how is he allowed this to happen?
Because like he can't do anything. Well, it just goes back to it's him
Fuck.
fucking what's it? I say it's not bribery, coercion. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
say
a bit of
shit like that. You can't say
quid pro
shit. I've
quid,
got
whatever,
your
right?
pills. Don't fucking dob
Like,
me in or I'll kill you. Like,
also, also, if you if you force an evil scientist into prison and you force him to make you heart medication and you're the president of the United States, why would you not get that medication
because he didn't want
tested
anyone to
before you
know.
put it in your body?
He was just like, yeah, I'll take your word for it. Whoop, these work.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who I did like. I thought he didn't have a lot to do in the movie, but the guy
Yeah,
who played like the head, you know, the guy who the leader kills, right? Sam
yeah,
Wilson gives him the
yeah.
pills. He's like, "Can you analyze these for me?"
It's like, oh, what's he
You
getting?
know the guy, and they kept like showing
No, I
him
was just
throughout the movie, so it was obvious he was obviously either going to be a mole or he was going to die for dramatic effect. They went with the die for
no,
dramatic effect. But do you know who that character was,
no.
McManus? He's a character, a famous character in
Who
the comics. Have you ever heard of D?
rings the bell?
Have you heard of D-Man? D-Man.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
show you.
I've seen this guy.
This guy right
What
here,
the fuck?
D-Man.
Who fucking ran
Yes.
out of
So
ideas?
his name is
Like,
where is it? Well, I like they again, like with Batroc the Leaper, I
mm,
like that they slip in like kind of like grounded, realistic versions of these weird, like, you know,
of course.
esoteric characters. His name is Dennis Dunphy, and yeah, and in the comics he's like a mix of, as you see, like Wolverine and Daredevil. He's got like a few different powers from a few different people, and he hasn't really appeared that much. But I love that they put him in there. I thought that was cool. Again, they kind of flag posted that they were going to be like doing something dramatic with him. You know, he was sort of like, because I thought he was going to be like the Brock Rumlow from like Winter Soldier, right? Where he's like, he turns out to be one of the bad guys, but they went the other way. He was a good guy. He just got murked, so that's fine. But I thought his performance was pretty good for the little part that he had in there. Who else did we have? I'd say what at the end of the movie with when Sam has the interaction with President Ross in the prison.
Yeah.
I thought that conversation was really well done. I really liked, you know, it really wrapped up that storyline and that relationship really well. And in the scene with Betty Ross coming in,
I
I
was
thought
not
was
I
really
was not
really well
expecting that. I think
handled. Earlier on,
that's what kind
however,
of got me in the feels like as like being a Hulk move like a fan of the Norton movies is that That fucking got me.
Well, as soon as he tries
Mm.
calling her on the phone halfway through the film, it's like, oh, well, she's going to show up at the end, and that's going to be an emotional moment, right? But that scene where he phones her up
Oh,
made me want to
maybe we
rip
can
my
go for a
fucking
walk.
ears off. Where it's just like, oh baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you. Maybe we could get together and walk through the cherry blossoms like the old
Mate,
days, just you and me.
she,
I'm like, fuck off with this
she straight
dialogue.
up watched
This
you try and
soap
murder
opera
her
book.
boyfriend in a park. Like, shut the fuck up. And then you set something loose that broke Harlem.
I was just
Broke.
like, man,
It broke Harlem.
yeah, no, he's a bad bloke, and that conversation was just so fucking on the nose, painful to listen to. But I thought the last scene
Yeah, it
with
was.
her and him was actually surprisingly quite good, and I thought they wrapped it up quite well. There was which wasn't difficult because there wasn't exactly a lot of plot. There wasn't a lot of like mystery and twists and turns. It was very much just like telegraphed the whole way through, like kind of where it was going and what was happening. There wasn't really any meat to be nibbled
I
on
think it was just a breath
off
of
of them
fresh air.
bones,
Like,
you know.
I enjoyed it
And
for the action and for the like instantly when you knew like saying what is it Eagle One or what's his Falcon One? What's his call sign again? Anyway, when he was coming in, anyway, it's like, oh yeah, you need to be
oh,
covert.
public
Covert, huh?
doesn't
You
matter.
must be new. Boom. And as soon as he lands, it's just like, wait for it.
I like the
And
stuff
then he
with
just starts kicking ass. It's like, oh, that's how you start off a fucking cat movie.
Yeah, I liked it, but I know that I'll tell you how they start up a cat movie, right? So Winter Soldier, we start off epic scene, big boat, he's running around, he's flipping dudes off the side of the boat, he's comboing like he's in Batman Arkham Asylum, right? He's doing all that badass shit. Captain America Civil War, we're on a mission in a different country. All the Avengers are there. We're all working together. All the powers are all come together. We're tracking down this virus. It's cool as fuck. You know how we're gonna start Brave New World with a speech. Just just Harrison Ford just talking
Yeah,
generic
but his house is,
militaristic
yeah, but
presidential speech, and then it takes like 5 minutes, and we get into the action. And don't get
you
me
can
wrong, I
wait for
don't need the action in
it.
5 minutes.
But
I can wait a little
it's
while.
Harrison
I just
Ford
felt like
speaking for the first
yeah,
time in a Marvel movie. Shut the fuck up.
I don't know. It's how, but it's it's Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I feel like you need to really just come in
Yeah.
hard with like some impact. Like let's really show that we mean business, and it's like. And we it was good when we did get there. It wasn't great, but the action was decent. I thought solid. Again, I hated the script, I hated the score, I hated
Yeah.
the editing. The effects on Red Hulk himself were really good. I really liked all the stuff with him
The
jumping
bullet
around,
impacts,
causing
like they
havoc. The
really
fight itself
fucking
was
amped
good.
that
That
up
green screen with
because you can see both circles. Yeah.
Brad.
And the little circles of him
You
being
could
hit.
see the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see the heat coming off him. They didn't, and that's a big part of his character in the comics. They didn't really
Well,
focus on
they
it too
don't have
much. They
him
just
grabbing
had that
onto
as like
someone and then
like
fucking
sort of
going,
almost like a background effect
burn.
almost.
It's just like, fuck that. Yeah.
But he does grab a few cars and they blow up and stuff, and it's like so it was definitely there. So I liked that. I like that they didn't kill him off. I
Oh,
don't
he's
think
going to get out.
we're
You know
probably
he
not going to
is.
see him again, but I would really hope so. Um, I would like to see him either in one of the Avengers movies, you know, maybe there's a scene with him, maybe Doom unleashes him or something to fight the Avengers. We can get to see Green Hulk fight Red Hulk. That would be cool. What I really want, actually, is we're getting a Thunderbolts movie. We talked about it, right? There's a run of Thunderbolts from about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. There's a run of the Thunderbolts that's really good, and on that lineup is Red Hulk, the Punisher, Elektra, and Deadpool. Okay, that is the Thunderbolts lineup that if we could get there in the next 5 years, we're not getting another like solo Deadpool movie. We don't need it. That's done. But give me the Thunderbolts with Punisher, Red Hulk, Daredevil, not Daredevil, Elektra, and Deadpool.
Yeah.
If that would be so fucking cool to see that. But I don't think we're going to see Red Hulk again, unfortunately. Especially, I mean, this movie's done 100. I think it exceeded expectations. Exceeded, should I say? It's done 190 million global debut so far, and that's more than it was anticipated to make. However, that's nowhere near. I don't think the word of mouth on this movie is going to be good. I don't think it's going to make much more than that, to be honest. I mean, maybe because there's not a lot coming out for a little while. You know, it's not a big movie. It's February, so we're not going to get too many big movies until we sort of get into April. But I don't think it's going to. I mean, bear in mind, they basically made 2 movies because they reshot a whole, like, extra movie. So you're talking like 400 million, extra 100 million for, like, the marketing budget. You know, if something's costing you 400-500 million, you need to make double that because you've got to pay the theaters as well as the studio. There's no way this movie's not making $1 billion. This is making nowhere close to it.
You've got to be something that someone fucking wants or
500,
really, really
and
fucking good to get close to that these days. Yeah.
It's rare, man. Between the pandemic and sort of people have just had this. It's only so big a movie can be. We've had like Star Wars came back. We've had Endgame. Like, it's not really a lot more runway to do some cool stuff. You know, people are kind of going away from this big budget stuff. People want more interesting,
they are
smaller
bringing
movies.
Thanos,
you know, with cool ideas that they have for.
But is it Thanos or is it God Emperor Thanos?
This is what I mean, though. It's just like like the biggest movie. It'll be Thanos will have a cameo in an Avengers movie, and Doom will murk him like he does in the comics, and it'll be like, oh fuck, that's right. But that's cool. But it's like when your biggest hits, you just have to keep going back to the biggest hits. You know what I mean? And like the only 2 sort of really successful Marvel movies of the last like 3 years has been No Way Home and Deadpool Wolverine. And what did they both rely on? Characters from old movies, from old universes that aren't even like the MCU proper. And I don't think it's a good look.
This one's like they need someone. I've been saying this. I've been saying it for years, and I will be saying this for fucking years. Get a fucking I know there's a couple out there. Get the directors who like, or hire someone who knows and been like someone who doesn't collect comics or does collect comics and has comics, have been reading them since they're not like the 90s and knows what they're fucking doing.
They don't even need to know all of that stuff. I think just get cool directors who are good, you know, just good scripts that you finalize before you start filming them, because that's amazing. It's happening. All these reshoots, all these moving the movies around between when they're shot and when they're released. It's like, that's not. You want a story. You want something that's got like a beginning, a middle, or end, and some twists and turns, and some cool emotional character moments in between. You don't want a fucking just like
Yeah.
sort of like an action movie Pinterest board where you're just taking different cool things and just trying to put them together however you can. Just get good people with a vision, keep the budget down, and just let them. Don't worry about it tying into anything. Just get a fucking dude or a lady or a person. Just get somebody who's got a cool take on whatever character they want to do. Just let them do it. $80 million. And if it's a half reasonably well known kind of character, it hasn't got to be Iron Man or Thor. Like over at DCU, for example, like you do a Swamp Thing. Just get the guy who's doing that. Just let them run with it. As long as they keep the budget low,
Like, no one
you're probably
over in
gonna,
DC, no one
less
knew
is
who the
more
fucking Creature
sometimes, and I think
Commandos
more than
were.
ever,
Now
less
that
is
show's
more.
fucking.
You can't. No,
No.
exactly, and people loved it, and that cost not a lot to make, I would imagine. The animation is old school. It's got cool character moments and really emotional
Alan
beats and like
Tunic.
the backstories and how it all kind of comes together. And the people who watch the show, just you you can't keep just trying to do Endgame or the Avengers every time. It's not going to work. You need eventually make enough small, interesting things, and
Yeah.
eventually people will start going, I wonder how all this could come together. Wouldn't that be cool? You'll get there. You'll get
The
there.
same,
You can get there
because
again,
it's
but you're not.
the
You just
same,
gotta,
like, because my ex is
yeah,
like, once
rein it
she
back
watched
in, get back to basics.
Endgame, like, I'm done. I'm done. It's like, well, you're not with, yeah.
And I
Over
don't
10
blame
years of
people.
Marvel, and you're like, yeah, I'm
I
done.
don't blame people at all for being like, you know what, that's as good as it's going to be. But again, a lot of people I do think feel that way, but people will slowly get back
And
interested and
yeah, and
invested if you just make cool, interesting, smaller level things. And if you keep the budget down, then they haven't got to make stupid amounts of money just to be successful. Because something doesn't, if you spend like 200 million and it doesn't make at least 400 or 500 million, no matter how good it was, it's not profitable. And then you're not going to make another
yeah,
one, and you're
and then
not
you're
going to get a
gonna,
chance to expand something from a smaller
and then
property
yeah, and then
into a
you're gonna
franchise.
kill,
Like
then
what
you're
they did
gonna
with
kill a
Iron Man,
fucking story that
John
people,
Wick.
like
Where it just
some
started.
people, like, say a movie that's like is fucking hated, some people will fucking love it, and then you'll kill a story that people are invested on, and then that just causes them to give you shit because you cancel something.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. It's a new
It's a
year.
new
It's a new
life
show.
for
It's a new
Lee.
rating system. Okay.
I,
And
I
I'm
couldn't help myself.
feeling good. No, I'm actually not. Um, that's good stuff. If
Mate, my
I
notes
might
are
be
still
feeling better than
running,
you, but
so
not to brag. But anyway, here's what we're doing. All right. Well, let it run in another direction. So so I don't want to be doing out of 10, out of 5. I always, if I
yeah,
do
you want to
that, I
always
always
change your
change
rating.
it. I always
Well,
think, oh, didn't do that the
everyone's
right
like,
way. It's
they say one
overcome.
thing and then they think about it and then want to change it to another.
So,
So
well, yeah. So here's what we're going to do. So Roger and Ebert, it was thumbs up or it was thumbs down. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes, is it rotten or is it fresh? Is it good or is it bad? Would I recommend this movie or would I not recommend this movie?
is it burnt
So
or
we're
is
going
it
to rate them
golden
like
brown?
this. We are the Top Toast podcast, and a movie is either going to be top. We're not doing burnt or golden brown McManus, okay? It, because I like it like medium, but I like to let it
Golden
go a
brown
little bit
texture like
cold so
sun,
the
you
butter
mad
doesn't
bastard.
completely melt. And anyway,
Fuck.
I don't even eat bread anymore, right? I mean, sometimes it's a treat. It's a treat, McManus. I'm 35. That weight comes hard out of nowhere. I don't want it, right? I'm not ready for that, right? I want to start flapping these around, right? Because it's happening. I've been a stick my whole life, and now I eat one bread roll,
Was it?
and all of a sudden you
There was
can
a
see
fucking
it, right,
YouTuber who
sticking
said
out of me like
like because
substance,
I
right?
was bang on rustlers when I first moved out. That's all eat was rustlers and pot noodle. My fucking my cupboard was fucking full of the shit and nothing expensive, just single dad food or divorced dad food. And like if this guy goes, if you've not had a
Yeah,
rustlers, you've never tasted the taste of depression. It's like that's spot on.
right. Well, what is spot on
Ooh,
is a movie is either going to be top or it's going to be toast.
I
That's
like it.
good or bad, but manage. We keep it simple, keep it on brand, stay on point. It's easy. Okay. I think with some movies, it's going to be hard when it's just like, oh, it's okay, but I like this, but I didn't like that. And this part was really good and that part. I think with some movies, it's going to get tricky. And that's what we want. We want
Mm,
complicated movies with depth and things to think about. This movie is not one of those things. I hate to admit it, but I've seen the Eternals. I've seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love those, and even with that, I did not enjoy this movie. I can't even imagine if you haven't seen that stuff or if you didn't like this stuff. This is probably a slog to get through. I think again, all the other stuff, the script, the editing, the score, 90% of the elements of this movie are bad, below average, subpar at best. I'm
see, you
very
went
sad to say that this
into it
movie is toast for
like
me. What say
like
you?
tearing it apart. I went in it just like, yeah, cat movie. Like, like I really, apart from some points, I really fucking enjoyed this movie. Like, it's either I haven't watched a decent Marvel movie for a while, or I just like bad fucking films. Well, I do like bad fucking movies; they're quite enjoyable and they make me laugh. But no, this I enjoyed it. Like, it was same amount of action from a cat movie that I get, same thrill from the cat movie, same kind of anticipation, same like when Sam was getting his ass kicked. There were a couple of moments I really thought he wasn't going to fucking make it. And then there were some points I was like, did he take the fucking serum? Because he flat out puts his fucking fist through a cinder block, then picks it up, and then nearly beats the guy to death with it. So, yeah, so
Oh, don't even get me started on the
I'm
inconsistencies.
going to say top.
Okay,
Yeah.
because the suit's made out of vibranium. Sometimes he can survive stuff. Sometimes he can't. Sometimes he can smack a dude through a wall, but other times he can get launched
Even
across the
with
thing. The
all this,
vibranium absorbs
I'm
the
gonna say top
impact.
because I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. No, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying, and there is some really good action in this, and there's one or two like emotional moments where I was like
Hmm.
genuinely like invested into it, but they was few and far between. Most one of them was like right at the end. I just think like it didn't really have a
Oh,
clear villain. That it didn't really have a plot. I was just like, but yeah, some of the action was cool. I like Anthony
hmm.
Mackie, even though he didn't have a lot to work with. He doesn't really have an arc in this movie, and any arc that he does have is basically just a retread of his arc of the show, where it's like,
You
oh,
are
I don't know if
shut the
I'm
fuck
worthy to
up.
be Captain America. You already fucking went through this. You already know you are. You come to terms with it at the end of the
No,
Falcon
you
show.
see,
You came to terms with it, and you was
yeah, you
ordering
see him
guys, and you
and
were
his,
giving them what
you see
for,
his
and telling them
fucking
how the politics.
him
And then he
being
went
like
backwards.
doing all the promotion, him having
Had the same
interviews. He's just been laying into Tom Holland again. It's like, oh, are you going to take? Like, have you seen Tom Holland do this? This is like, oh, he's my date to the
yeah.
premiere.
He's good. I like Anthony
He's
Mackie as
he's
a
a brilliant
person
actor.
and in this role and in this movie. It's just not enough. It wasn't enough. But anyway, that's it. We're getting out
Bang
of
on the one
here.
house,
You
right?
can find us at Top Toast and all the social media
We're everywhere.
platforms that you want. You can get us on the Spotify. You can get us on your podcast platforms. We surround
Good.
you, we bind you, we live inside you and bring you together. And we will see
Yeah.
you next time in 2 weeks' time. Don't know what the episode is going to be, but I tell you it's going to
Peace.
be top. Peace.
Oh,